This Slammiversary, I'm going to be honest here, it wasn't perfect. With the audio glitches, with Mike Tenay literally talking over Josh Matthews, kind of like saying, "You don't know nothing, boy. I'm the one who knows the business," really kind of brought the show down for me personally. The audio glitches particularly was a problem. So this was not well done at all. But I will say this. The one thing I was happy to see was that TNA's mid-card had more to do than WWE's mid-card had ever done in months. And that's saying a lot. WWE's mid-card sucks. What do we usually get from them? If they're going to do a feud, you got one match, maybe you have one person talk once, then you have another match, then maybe they'll have a fight, or maybe they'll talk, and then they have the rubber match, which most of the time sucks, and then they do nothing with them afterward at all. Now, I'm not saying TNA doesn't do the kind of suit, but at least we actually got a storyline here. We got several storylines going on in the main mid-card. Jesse Goddard versus a Robbie E. And I know a lot of people do not care about these jobbers, but I see them in this respect. They actually gave them something to do. They gave them a substantially interesting storyline, even if you don't like them. You got Jesse Goddard who got tired of feeling like he was underutilized, that he was better than a Robbie E. who thinks he's the man. What do you think, bro? Like that. So he takes him out. And then he takes on DJ Z, who I got to talk about when the X Division comes around. That's going to be up next. But essentially speaking, you actually had a history here. Now here's the thing that was good but also bad. Good thing, even though it had some bad points. Robbie E talking with Jeremy Borash, and Jeremy always makes it interesting. I understand the reason why he's not put on commentary, because he really does hype up in the back with the announcement, with the interviews. He does a great job. I would rather see him on commentary, but I understand the reason why they put him there. Robbie E is not one of the best talkers at all, but he did get his point across at the end, saying basically, "You are my fucking bitch. So don't think you're going to get away with what I want. You're going to job to me." When it came to Jesse Goddard's, and I'm upset about certain things that were done before the match. One thing I am glad to see, they gave him new music, they let him have his own robe, and they gave him some talk time. Here's the issue. The robe should not say "the man." Even though they gave him a new moniker, it should have been, as the Pope had been pushing, the modern day Adonis, Jesse Goddard. No matter if you like Jesse or not, getting a new moniker could actually help a talent, no matter if he's a jobber talent or not. The Brooklyn Brawler, Steve Lombardi, he went from being Steve Lombardi to the fucking Brooklyn Brawler, and we loved his ass, not because he was the best wrestler, it's because he was a good mid-card wrestler who had versatility. Now, I'm not saying that Jesse Goddard has that, but at least if he's beginning to get the chance to try, at least give him the proper name. And Jesse the Man Goddard, is not as good as the modern day Adonis coming from the sweet lips of a Christy Hemme, Jesse Goddard. That sounds more substantial. That's the first mistake. The long robe was great, but it should have said the modern day Adonis. And the last thing that was wrong with Jesse Goddard, he does not talk very well. He needs work. It's good they gave him the chance to talk. It's bad that he took so long and he still needs work. But at least he got it. The match was okay. It was. For what it was okay, and Robbie E wins. Do I believe Jesse Goddard should have won? Yes, I do. I do believe Jesse should have won that, because he's the talent that really needs to be pushed. He's only been in TNA maybe 2.25 years. He's the one that needs to push more than a Robbie E. But it doesn't mean the feud is over. But I do believe that they did make some mistakes there. Now, the X Division match. The X Division elimination match. Here's the problem with the X Division, and I believe Clown, I can't remember your name, dude, Clown69, I can't remember your full name. Clown Prince or a Crown what is it? Crown I can't remember your name, dude. I am so sorry. I'm very bad with names. But you know who you are. You left a message on one of my videos earlier today, and I thank you for it. I always love when people leave me a message because I really care about them. I honestly do. But you said it best, that when it comes to WWE, the jobbers there, the mid-card jobbers, are always underutilized. And I think of the X Division. It is the mid-card right now. It shouldn't be, but it is. And the kicker for this is that TNA is not paying attention to it. The X Division was never the mid-card. But it could build people to go into the mid-card, which was for the Global Championship and the television title. I always liked that when I learned about it. And when I see this, Tigre Uno versus Manic versus Zema Ion, the person that was the most over was Zema Ion, the person we don't see the most of wrestling. I mean, he did wrestle a bit, but by himself he rarely wrestles. And he was the most over of the three. Tigre Uno, who I do believe is a great talent, wasn't as over as him. And to be honest, even though Tigre retained it, I think Zema Ion should have got the title. And this is the sad thing. Either one of them winning the title really doesn't mean anything, because TNA is still not doing anything with them. And it breaks my heart to see this. I truly believe that TNA, who has an X Division, that it is cruiser-like-esque. Let's be honest here. It's like the cruiserweight. But you can make something so substantial about it that we can love it. And that's what people loved about TNA. Because unlike WCW, the cruiserweights always opened the show and sometimes ended the show. And the X Division was premiered compared to opening the show. But now they made it the opening. And I believe it was dumb. I didn't like it they opened the show. I would have felt like they deserved to be near the end. And this is where I believe should have been the opening match. Ooh. Matt Morgan versus Bram. This was a terrible match. Anyone liked it, more power to you. I did not like it. When Matt Morgan said, I want this to be a street fight, I said, oh no. Oh no. I literally hit my head and smacked my head and I said, oh, they're going to fuck this up. And it was horrible. The timing was wrong. The hitting was wrong. And then at the end of the match, what the fuck was Bram looking for? And commentators are wondering what the fuck he's looking for. He made that look terrible. And in the end, it looked so choreographed and so sloppy, it turned me off. 100%. This could have been the opening of the show. And we could have easily forgot about it, and the rest of the show would have been better. Now, I'm being honest here. Now, here's a great match that really doesn't have great build, but it's still great. Austin Aries versus Davey Richards. I felt they pulled the house down. It was that good. It was that good of a match. And I was wondering, after hearing there was going to be a stipulation at the end, what would they pick? They just did Full Metal Mayhem. What's more substantial than that? A 16-minute, no, it wasn't 16 minutes. A 30-minute Iron Man tag team match. What? Okay. That's the best they can get out of this. Because when you see this, they have stretched this as far as they could. They didn't know what else to do, so they threw this Iron Man match out. I'm not totally fond of an Iron Man match if it's not done properly. And I don't believe Bell to Bell is going to do it properly. But these are very good teams. And they can still get it over. This was a good match between Austin Aries and Davey Richards. I did love it. It was one of the best matches of the night. Now, the Dollhouse and Terrell. Well, all of them. The Dollhouse versus Brooke and Awesome Kong. Now, I'm going to say this. Because Brooke was the most spotlighted here, it makes me very happy to see this. Because Brooke is one of the few knockouts who has worked very hard to improve herself and show her ability. Now, I've always said, you guys, if you've seen me, you already know how I feel about Brooke in The Amazing Race. She's a bitchy woman. Doesn't mean she's a bad woman. It's just that when she gets stressed out, she bitches her ass off. But here, she earned her spot going against Terrence Terrell. For bell to bell, I believe she's going to go up against her. If she doesn't, if it's going to be Kong, I don't really care. Because I know that when the time comes, when Terrence jobs to Brooke, people will be happy about it. But this is something that must be stated. This was a great match. Awesome Kong did not hog it. It was all about Brooke getting the spotlight. And it's great. But I gotta say this, and if anyone disagrees with me, explain why. Eventually, Awesome Kong must get that belt. If she does not, it's going to be ridiculous why she came back. She is the largest and most dominant woman there. When you saw her in her, what was she wearing? A corset, holding up those big boobies. She showed how good she is. No matter if she is an original for the Knockouts division, no matter how many times she's had it, eventually you need her there to give variation for women to have to climb a mountain. And she's a mountain of a woman, and a good looking one at that. Oh, and what was it? Jade got a little high from the Pope. I wonder what's going on there. Anderson and Lashley versus EC3 and Tyrus. Tell me something. 2 weeks ago, actually 3 weeks ago, counting this week, you had EC3 job the way he did. Well, not job, you know what I mean. You have EC3 having that match, and when it came to Lashley not willing to job and Tyrus making him look really stupid, why couldn't you have skipped this? You could have let a Kurt Angle have his match against Matt Hardy anyway. You could have left the EC3 and Lashley match out. Because if it's going to be for this, it would have been better for EC3. Because as much as Tyrus got interfered, it was a clean win for EC3, and he looked better than he did when he went against Lashley. That match should never happen. This should have happened. It made him look better. And I don't know what TNA was thinking. So next on the agenda, the second match sorry for the botch. Because it was a good match. It was a damn good match. It didn't have a great storyline near the end of it. But still, it was a good match. And that's Storm versus Magnus. A non-sanctioned match. Why not just say it was a street fight? If it was a non-sanctioned match, why not hype it saying that this is a non-sanctioned match? If either one of us gets hurt, we don't get paid for it. It would have been better if they said something beforehand. I didn't see it. If anybody saw somebody saying something like that, it would have been better. But this is like a last minute thing, and I think it was stupid. They should have been allowed to say something. At least Storm should have said something in the show. Saying, Magnus, this non-sanctioned match, you're going to be wishing you hadn't done it, boy. If I hurt you, you ain't getting paid shit. Of course, you didn't get paid nothing. Any injuries, we don't get liable for nothing. So you're going to wish you hadn't gone in this match. I kind of wish he had done that. Now, when it came to Magnus, he did a good interview. I did like it. And the match was the second best match of the night. I think Austin Aries was the best match of the night with Davey Richard. Guys can tell me yourself if you feel that basically Magnus and Storm was the best, or was it Aries and Richards? I believe it was Aries and Richard, then Magnus and Storm. The only reason I'm kind of going in that direction is because of the storyline, and because clearly nothing was said by Storm about this non-sanctioned match. That's what brought it down for me. But it was still a great match, and Storm is the one who got the win. I doubt it's going to be over, but who knows what happens in the next couple of weeks after Slammiversary. Let's see, am I forgetting anything? it's time for King of the Mountain. No! King of the Mountain. Jeff Jarrett, his match. Double J having his moment. Now, this is what I was thinking when I was going into this match. That he wasn't going to lose this match. So what was going to happen afterward? I don't know what's going to happen afterward. I have to go and check the website. I haven't had a chance to do that yet. I had things to do today. So, what's going to happen now that he's won the match? And you want a little bit of understanding of how the match was? To be honest, this was the first time I've ever seen a King of the Mountain match. I never saw one back in 2009. I didn't have the ability to see it at that time. And now you're going to say, what do you mean? You didn't have cable? No. I didn't have no cable, and I didn't have cable internet either. I was kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place with cash, so I didn't have any internet that was capable of streaming until 2010. So I never saw the King of the Mountain match. Of course, I could have bought some DVDs like this 2006, but I never did. But seeing this match, I mean, it wasn't a bad concept. I would not mind if TNA brought it back permanently. But the question now, and Jesse, no, not Jesse, I'm getting confused here. Drew Galloway did very well. Matt Hardy did okay. Seeing that Team Canada came together for a few seconds till they attacked each other was okay. I was alright with the match even though it wasn't great. It did feel a little clunky. To me, maybe it's because this is the first time I've actually seen this type of match. You can tell me if it was clunky or not. It felt clunky. Like it was still kind of... They didn't gel very well together, all five of the guys. But that's just me being a novice to that match. But seeing that the King of the Mountain title and champion is Jeff Jarrett, and I can't wait to see the Sleg Daddy's video on this. This is my feeling. Jeff did start the company. And as much as I've more than heard, like Fool Killer 99 and the Slig Daddy saying that this was mostly for him over the years, it still promoted TNA. It was something different. WWE wasn't doing it. Now that he started another company, this is my feeling is two things that's going on here. One of two. One, the reason he was brought back for the King of the Mountain match is because TNA truly needs publicity because of what's going on with Destination America dealing with ROH and the possibility not being renewed in September. They need to bring someone up from somewhere else that can truly help them put some eyeballs on the product. So they probably said to Jeff, look, we need you to come back. We're in trouble here. We'll help you in your company if you'll help us with our company. We even let you take the title that we're going to rename the King of the Mountain title, and you can take it to your company and work with us. Help us to try and promote ourselves, to improve ourselves, and we'll drag you along with us. You need promotion. You started out only barely a year and a half ago. This will help both of us. So that's what I'm thinking, that this is a collab. But here's the other side, that if it is, this is the stupidest thing TNA could have done. Jeff Jarrett, to TNA, is not just a founder, but someone they owe. No matter if Dixie Carter likes it or not, she owes Jeff and his dad a lot of credit for starting this company, for her to have it. And even though it's not doing well, she's the one who owns it. And she probably felt like she owed something to him. So if he's the one that came up with this idea saying, look, he probably went to Dix and said, look, Dix, I need something. My new company needs publicity. You owe me, bitch. He didn't say it in those words, but you owe me. Give me the old television title. Let me have one last match in the King of the Mountain. You don't have to bring it back. Let me take the title and let me use it for my new company. I need this. I need the publicity. You owe me. Give it to me. And Dixie felt, all right, we do owe you. I don't want no problems with you. We'll do this. Now, if they did that, that is the stupidest thing TNA could have done. Because if the title doesn't get any type of play between both companies, is going to fuck TNA. TNA's already in big trouble as it is, dealing with ROH in the same night, 1 hour before it. They're not getting all their fans there. And then Destination America is going to fuck them as well. Because they've done this. Instead of giving TNA Tuesday night and letting ROH be Wednesday night, at least it wouldn't be in the same time slot on the same day. They fucked them by leaving them high and dry like this. And they may be showing some advertisement on Destination America, but it's not enough. So if they did this because they owe Jeff, it is the most stupidest thing they could have done. Now, if this is a collab, you could say it's still a double-edged sword because you're going to have some of the people that's from Global Force get more fans. Lady Tappa's in Global Force Wrestling right now. I checked. Lady Tappa. We haven't seen her since she was around, and now she's on Global Force. So people who once loved Lady Tappa, no matter if it was only a few or a lot, could actually think, hey, she's there, let's go over there. A lot of people that used to be on TNA is over on Global Force Wrestling. So there's a good chance they're going to do some of their fan base. But it's also possible that they'll increase their fan base because people who've seen Global Force Wrestling, either if they've never seen TNA, may be interested in that. Now, it's still a double-edged sword if this is going to work out or not. I don't know what's going on, but I hope this works out because if TNA did something really stupid like just let them have the title because they owed him, this was fucking dumb. So I hope you enjoyed this Slammiversary 2015 review. Please give me a comment below. I'll see if I can do a debate of the week this week, but I have some things to do. I'm actually helping a lady with a computer. I'm actually giving her a computer and getting it set up for her because she helped me. So I hope you have a good day and have a good night. Peace out!